Thank you so much, dear viewers. Once again, I'm here, and everybody desires to lead a good life, but not everybody gets to live the good life. What is this thing that distinguishes those that get to live the good life from those that never lead this good life? Today, I want to share the 3 keys that I've found distinguishing those that get to live this good life and those that don't get. Number 1, those people who get what they desire in life have clarity. Most of us end up regretting the life we have lived. We end up punishing ourselves, but in the first place, we didn't know exactly what we wanted. If I have to challenge you, do you know exactly what you desire in life? Because if you don't know what you desire, you may end up getting to any destination. Somebody once said that you can never hit a target that you can't see. So first of all, you must know exactly what you want. Once that is clear, that is clarity, then you need to have the right mindset. That is the law of belief. Do you believe with all your neurons that you can achieve whatever that you want? Because if you can't believe it, then you can never achieve it. So the second law that is very important is that you must create the mental image of that particular thing that you desire in your head, so that once you have created a mental picture of that thing that you desire, once you are convicted that you deserve and you can achieve it, then that is the second law. And then the third law that is very essential, it is now the law of action. That are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to do whatever it takes to achieve that thing that you want? Most of us desire a good life, but most of us are not willing to pay the price. Most of us love being in our comfort zone. But unless you are willing to leave the shed, you'll never get that place you desire in the sun. Therefore, you must be willing. And it takes a relentless sacrifice, that you have to sacrifice to get that thing which you really desire. And I'm telling you, it is bloody hard. It is not easy. I wish I could tell you it was easy. It is not. It is so hard, especially when it comes to paying the price. But the few that have created friendship with discomfort, the few that have a good relationship with the pain, eventually come to get whatever they desire. Therefore, summatively, this is what I'm saying, that in as much as you may know what you want, you may have the right mindset, but if you don't get on your ass and get committed to do the work, it's just like you may desire to be a bodybuilder, but nobody can do the push-ups for you. You have to get into the gym and do the push-ups. If you don't do that, then you'll never get it. Therefore, today I want to challenge you. Go sit down and ask yourself, what do I want? Then be convinced in your mind that you deserve it. And then get committed to paying the price. And as you pay the price, committedly, consistently, it may not happen in a day, it may not happen in a week, but I want to assure you, with mathematical exactness, you will soon arrive at that particular thing, because all those that have used this law, all those that have used these keys, association, and it has even become a cliche that show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. If you stay next to a barber shop for so long, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. If you have friends that are womanizers, you will find it so easy to be a womanizer, because at the end of the day, when you come back to your group, you'll be accepted. But when you go for a walk with somebody, something happens without your conscious awareness. You either adjust to their pace or they adjust to yours. The question is, whose pace have you adjusted to? It is so common, and it has even become a cliche, that show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You are an average of 5 people you associate with. Therefore, if you take keen interest, I want to challenge you. Can you look around your circle? Are you able to count 5 people? And if you're able to count 5 people, do you love the average of those 5 people that you constantly associate with? If you don't like, then it's high time that you really need to adjust. There is this analogy that one of my good friends used that I love so much, that if you stay next to a barber shop for so long, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. There is always the power in the people we associate with. At a neurological level, the moment you associate with people, there is this thing we call the mirror neurons in our brain. These mirror neurons, just like a mirror, their work is to reflect. They behave like a chameleon. They tend to copy, or rather reflect, the behavior of those around us. Therefore, anytime you associate with people, you tend to reflect them courtesy of these mirror neurons. And then on another level, there's a way we tend to seek permission from people we interact with. For example, there's a way anytime you want to do something, the question is always that will I be accepted by my friends? Therefore, you find that if there is something that your friends don't agree, you will not find it easy to do. For example, if you have friends that are womanizers, you will find it so easy to be a womanizer, because at the end of the day, when you come back to your group, you'll be accepted. If you had spiritual friends and you think of being a womanizer, the big question will be, you will keep on asking yourself, will my friends accept me back if they learn that I've done such a thing? So that is how powerful the association we keep is important. Therefore, it is important that we get the right association, because if we get the right association, then our lives are likely to grow. There's this law I want to bring my video to conclusion with, the law of 33%, which says that the 33% of people around you should be people you are helping to come up. Then the next 33% should be people at least of your equal level, people that you are at the same level with. And then the next 33% should be people that you are aiming to. These should be people that you look up to. Sometimes you can refer to them as mentors. These are people that would want to stretch you to the next level. So the moment you check your association right, it will really help you. And sometimes it becomes a problem getting this right association. If you can't get them physically, then you can get them in books. You can get them in quality videos like the one you're listening to. And as you do that, I want to assure you that your life is going to be truly transformed, because once you change your environment, once you change the people you associate with, the quality of your life will truly change. Have you ever taken time to pay attention on what exactly people come to hear when your name is mentioned? Because if your name is mentioned and nothing comes in people's mind, then it means you have not worked on yourself hard enough. So today I want us to look at the power of focus. In my earlier video, there's something I shared on one of the keys to becoming an effective person or becoming a successful person, and that key was clarity. Those people who get what they desire in life have clarity. Most of us end up regretting the life we have lived. We end up punishing ourselves, but in the first place, we didn't know exactly what we wanted. So the big question is, once you have the clarity, you must be able to focus on that one thing that you are willing to give your all. We are living in a very distracted world where we are living in a technological world. Technology is such a good thing, but if it is not watched, if you cannot intelligently manage your attention, then you will have a problem, because at the end of the day, you may realize that the whole day you have just spent it distracted. And they say, addiction to distraction is the death of your creative production. So anytime you wake up and every now and then you're distracted, then your ability to produce is going to slowly die. There is one thing that defines this high performance person. The trademark of highly successful people is focus. The ability to focus amidst distraction is what defines these highly successful people. Therefore, for you to share an attribute about those people that become successful, you must learn this art of focus. And what happens neurologically? The moment you are fully focused on the thing that you're doing, this is exactly what happens. For example, let's say you are learning a concept. And I'll go a little bit in biology, and you will forgive me if you get some technical words that you may not get so well. But inside your brain, there are some cells that are called oligodendrocyte cells. The moment you are fully present in the thing that you are handling, the oligodendrocyte cells becomes activated. And when they become activated, they produce something we call a myelin sheath. Okay, learning, this is how learning takes place. When one neuron connects with the other, you learn a concept. For that connection to be solid, or for that connection to be so strong, there is a myelin. It's like a cover. It is like some protection that forms on that connection, which makes now that particular concept that you have learned more compact or more permanent. Therefore, for oligodendrocyte cells to be activated so that the myelin sheath can form around the neuron that learning is taking place along, you must be focused 100%. The moment you are doing so many things, there's this concept that most people confuse. They say that we can always multitask. In fact, your brain does not know anything like multitasking. What your brain does when you say you're multitasking, it is just switching tasks from task A to task B. The moment you're doing something, let's say you are cooking and at the same time you are on your gadget, what is happening? Your attention moves from the cooking and then it goes to the gadget. Then from the gadget back to the cooking. And what happens? People that multitask can hardly filter out irrelevancy. That is why most of the time, when you look at these people that do a lot of multitasking, at the end of the day, they never come out with something quality. But for you to become so good that you cannot be ignored, you must decide on an area. You must decide that this is the thing that I'm willing to pay my whole life for. This is the thing that I'm going to center my effort around. And once you do that, you will become so good that the world will not be able to ignore you. But failure too, as long as you have so many things vying for your attention, as long as you have so many things that you are giving attention to, at the end of the day, a jack of all trades is hardly good at any. Therefore, I want to challenge you. Moving forward, can you decide on an area and you say, now this is the area that I want to be known for? This is the area, because the likes of people we hear so much, for example, when you talk of Bill Gates, automatically what comes to your mind, I don't even have to mention it, but the idea of the software and the idea of comes in. When you talk of Steve Jobs, for example, Steve Jobs, anytime you mention Steve Jobs, you don't even have to think about it. It's the Apple company that comes to mind. So these people decided that in as much as there were so many things they could be able to do, but they decided to focus their area, or they decided to focus their energy and their effort on a specific area. And out of that focus, they came out with so much. Therefore, all of us, be it a student, be it whichever level, be it a farmer, be it a teacher, be it whichever level of profession, if you decided that now I want to give my all to this particular thing that I'm doing, as you do that, you are going to really scale higher. And the only way you are going to grow, because what makes us human is growth. The moment you are continually growing and you are growing in a focused manner, you are going to grow. Let me maybe finish this by giving you this common analogy. We all understand the sun. The sun, when the rays are spread all over, the effect is not as much. But take a focusing lens. The moment you take a focusing lens, so that now that focusing lens directs the rays of sun to a specific thing, even if it's a paper, that paper will start burning. That, my listeners, is the power of focus, because once now the rays are directed on that particular spot, it will start burning. It is the same sun, but now what has happened is it is now focused on a specific area. So that tells us that if we focused our attention, if we focused our energy on the specific thing that we want to do, and then we are fully present, then at the end of the day, we are really going to achieve that. But for those who still feel that you can still multitask, there is this thing we call attention residue. Attention residue is where the moment you are moving your attention from one task to the other, what happens as you move from task A to task B, part of your attention is left on task A. So even as you're going to task B, you will not go to task B with your full attention, and you may not do it as much. Therefore, let us become fully, it is better, even if you wanted to do two things, just do one until you get it to completion and then get to the other one. You will realize that at the end of the day, you will become so efficient. You will realize that at the end of the day, you are going to do task A within a short time and with very quality output. And then as you go to task B, you're also going to do it in a very good way. Those that have met in my speaking engagements, we have confirmed, and they can confirm, that multitasking will never filter out irrelevancy. Insanity is basically doing the same things over and over and imagining that you're going to get a different outcome. Why is it that change is hard? Why does it feel a lot of discomfort? Why do you feel so uncomfortable in the process of changing? Things will not change by chance, but things will change when we change. Your brain has been evolved to keep you safe and alive. It's Einstein that said that insanity is basically doing the same things over and over and imagining that you're going to get a different outcome. Most of us would wish things to change, but we are not willing to change. Why are we not willing to change? We are not willing to change because there's a lot of discomfort that comes with change. Now today I want us to look at why is it that change is hard? Why does it feel a lot of discomfort? Why do you feel so uncomfortable in the process of changing? Because once we understand that, perhaps we are going to endure this pain to the end. Because once we understand that this is exactly what is happening in your brain, that is why you're feeling the pain, then it is for a while that you're going to experience it. For you to change, first of all, you need to be disciplined. And what is discipline? Discipline is the ability to give yourself commands and follow. Most of us would love to command things around, would love to command people around, but most of us are not disciplined enough to follow the commands we give to ourselves. And that is one of the main things. In fact, that is like what I would call it's a prerequisite. For you to change, first of all, you must be willing to commit to discipline. You must be willing to give yourself commands and follow. Things will not change by chance, but things will change when we change. So, until we decide to take action, until we decide to take a move so that we become changed, we will never change. Now, I'm a lover of the human brain, and today I would want to get a little bit deeper on inside your brain. Why is it that change is hard? Now, your brain has been evolved to keep you safe and alive. Those are the two primary functions of your brain, to keep you safe. So anything that is unsafe, your brain will try your best to make you avoid it. Anything that will endanger your life, your brain will try its best so that you avoid it, so that you are kept safe. So for the brain to perform these two primary functions, your body needs to be efficient. And for your brain to be efficient, it means it has to really save on the energy that it uses. Therefore, anything according to your brain that needs a lot of energy, your brain will try its best to avoid it. Now, your brain loves habit. And inside your brain, you will discover that anything you have done habitually, at the beginning, the moment you start getting something for the first time, for example, an experience, the neurons, one neuron, neuron A, they are firing together. They fire together, and during that time of firing together, they are trying to connect. And during the process of connecting, it takes a lot of energy. And therefore, the brain will try its best to make you avoid anything that will make you use more energy. Therefore, because this new activity you are trying to engage yourself in is taking a lot of energy, your brain will try to bring in what I call neuronal protest. It will try to protest, and the reason as to why it's trying to protest, it's not like anything against, but it's trying to protest because it is supposed to help you conserve energy. And that is why your brain would love things that don't take a lot of energy. Most of us would love to sleep. Most of us would love just to surf around, to be on our social media platforms and several platforms that do not take a lot of energy. It is because our brain has been doing that over and over until it is used to. Therefore, any attempt to do anything hard, any attempt to do anything new, it is going to be interpreted with your brain as difficult. Therefore, how do you overcome it? The best thing you can do, the moment at the beginning it's going to be painful, but as you persist doing it, the brain will try its best so that it makes it habitual. The brain will try its best so that it creates a connection. And once that connection is created, once that connection has been established between neurons, it has become habitual. Therefore, your brain will start craving to do that new thing. Why? Because it's become a habit. And once it gets to that level, therefore, it will now be easier to do that thing than it is not to do it. So, from the brain perspective, that is what change entails. And it's never been easy. Like I have always mentioned, maybe why the reason as to why it's never been easy, I think it's been clear, and I've tried my best to explain it, and I hope as at now you now understand it. And it needs commitment at first. Once you understand the law of clarity, you are clear on what you want, you have to be committed. You have to be committed to practice this thing that you've always desired. You practice it over and over until it gets to another level. Then it needs consistency. Once you've committed to it, you have to be consistent. And once you're consistent and you're disciplined enough, not just to begin, but to see to it that the race is not only well started, but it's run up to the end, I want to assure you, you can change into anything. It is going to be difficult at the beginning. It is going to be messy in the middle. But as you do this over and over, it's going to be gorgeous at the end. And nothing good comes by hope. All great things come by change. And if you are courageous enough to change yourself, then you can achieve anything that you desire.